Because we're talking about defending our Second Amendment rights. What about your rights on the internet, your free speech rights, your rights to do what you want to do on the internet? You don't want to have CISPA and PIPA and all these other things. But what if somebody tries to blackmail you? Not even blackmail you, but just lie about you. It happens all the time here at InfoWars. People make these fraudulent YouTube sites, these whatever sites. They use our graphics. I think David Knight was telling me about this the other day. Somebody made a phony Alex Jones show on YouTube. And they used our graphics, they used our videos. It looked very legit to somebody who wasn't familiar with our show. But of course, you know, they put in all these hokey videos. They'll put like some real reports from myself, David Knight, Leanne, Joe Biggs, whoever. Then they put in something that's just off the wall. We support killing these people. We support killing those people. I don't support killing anybody. I support the Second Amendment. I support if somebody kicks in your door at 3 in the morning and you shoot them with a shotgun. I have no issue with that. But I don't support mass genocide or whatever these other people try to say we're about. And I say all that to say this. Now a PR firm is using the naked scandal, the naked celebrity scandal, to push internet censorship on 4chan. Rantic Marketing, a public relations company that has worked with the likes of McDonald's and Rockstar Games, was outed as being behind a website called EmmaYourNext.com, which threatened to release nude pictures of Watson in retaliation for her recent speech about feminism in front of the United Nations. This is Emma Watson, the actress. However, the website misrepresented itself as being the work of 4chan users. When it was revealed that EmmaYourNext.com was being hosted on the same server as Rantic and FoxWeekly.com, an outlet that blamed 4chan for the threat, the PR firm was forced to admit it was behind the stunt. And it's also pictured on Infowars.com, the address to President Obama. And you can see it all right there saying that, hey, you have to crack down on these guys at 4chan, even though they completely framed 4chan. So I'm glad this information has been exposed. And, you know, I hate to see all these celebrities having their intimate moments, whether it's Emma Watson or the girl from Hunger Games or, you know, all these other celebrities, Kate Upton and so forth. I hate to see these people be exposed like this, but it just goes on to show you have to be very careful what you put on the internet. Definitely not put any compromising positions on there. Even on the cloud, you know, if you guys seen the videos and the movies and make fun of this stuff, you put things on the cloud and now everybody sees it. Now your mailman's seeing it and people want to move. That's real. I mean, that can happen. So you got to be very careful what you leave on the internet. And it's not just the internet. What if you're just talking on a cell phone and you're driving around and you're having a good time and everybody uses this excuse, I don't have anything to hide. You may not be a criminal. You may not be, you know, Rick Ross or Scarface, but you may have a few things that you don't want the world at large to know about. But the FBI is coming out and telling the police departments, these other areas, these sheriff's departments, to keep quiet about the spy gear that they use. Recent reports have indicated that law enforcement agencies from coast to coast have been turning to IMSI catcher devices like the Stingray sold by Florida's Harris Corporation to trick ordinary mobile phones into communicating device-specific international mobile subscriber identity information to phony cell towers, a tactic that takes the approximate geolocation data of all the devices within range and records it for investigators, which is a very fancy way of saying they just steal your data. And it wasn't just a couple weeks ago, I talked to a rep for ESD Applications, and I asked him, I said, they say it's a conspiracy theory. Of course, I knew the answer to the question, but they say it's a conspiracy theory that people can listen to your cell phone calls in real time. He said, let me assure you, that's no theory. There may be a conspiracy behind it, but it's no theory that, yes, they can listen to your conversations in real time. Yes, they can hack into your phone via back doors. Yes, they can look at you through your smart TV. Yes, they can monitor what you're doing on your Xbox, on your PlayStation, and all that. So you have to be very careful of what you're doing. And, if it's some hacker guy, some guy sitting in his dad's basement, his mom's basement, you can go after that guy. You can prosecute him, say, hey, you're spying on me. But if the police do it, if the military does it, whoever else, it's all fair game. It's all in the name of keeping you safe. Even though they don't have a warrant, they're not coming after you, particularly Mr. Smith. We think you may be, dealing drugs or whatever, so we're going to come after you. No, they just siphon all the information from everybody in the general location. We've seen this done in Seattle as well as many other places. Hopefully they'll put an end to this. I doubt they will, because this is the new spy state of the United States of America. And people said, we don't like this spy state. We don't like this submission to authority. And that caused some students in Colorado just to walk out of school. We don't want to submit to everything the government tells us to do. And while I do believe in civil disobedience and all those good things, you don't want to have anything violent, but that's not what these kids did. They had a very civil disobedience when they walked out of school that day. And it says hundreds of students walked out of classrooms around suburban Denver on Tuesday in protest over a conservative-led board proposal to focus history education on topics that promote citizenship, patriotism, and respect for authority, and do not encourage or condone civil disorder, social strike, or disregard for the law. So like I said, you want to have civil disobedience, you want to step outside, you want to hold your signs, you want to link arms and all that good stuff. That's great, because I don't believe that submission to all authority is good authority. If you're driving down the street and the cop pulls you over, hey, he wants to chat you down. He wants to have a chat down. What are you doing? Where are you coming from? I'm like, sir, do you have probable cause to stop me? Was I speeding? Is my blinker out? What's the issue here? I just want to stop you because I have this checkpoint here. I'm like, well, you can have your checkpoint all you want. I just want to drive down the street unmolested in the United States of America, being an American citizen. Do you have drugs in the car? Do you have this in the car? I'm like, I'm want to drive. Am I free to go? It's like somebody's telling me the joke. Why the libertarian crossed the road? It's none of your business. Am I being detained? It's kind of like that for me. I'm like, do you have probable cause? Is there a rapist, a murderer who looks like me, who's driving my type of car, my make and model? What is the reason why you're stopping me? If it's just because you felt like setting up a checkpoint, no, I don't want to play those games with you. And these students recognize this as well. And of course, I promote things like patriotism. I'm not saying that these students don't. But, hey, I think it's good to get these guys started on the paths early to being something positive, because we don't need continuing another police state here in the United States of America. And we'll end our segment tonight with this before we go into multiple special reports. Zombie apocalypse, ? Ebola patients reportedly rise from the dead. A report from the New Dawn, Liberia, reports that not one but two Ebola patients from Nimba County who had died from the disease mysteriously came back to life, to residents' disbelief, right before their funerals. As one reader on allafrica.com points out, the most reasonable explanation is that the victims had never actually died, but were probably still alive in a comatose state. And that's what I believe. And also the author of this piece, Adon Salazar, he said, yeah, it's probably the same thing, just people were comatose. Because, yeah, you hear about this for non-disease cases. People get super, super drunk, and the medical examiner, whoever shows up, yeah, this guy's dead. And the guy wakes up, a few hours later in a body bag. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. But it doesn't mean that the Ebola threat isn't real. How big is it going to be? I don't know. Is it going to be a couple 100,000? It could be millions. Only time will tell. Hopefully they'll be able to contain this serious disease, and we won't have a big zombie apocalypse. Because that's what they train for. They've done this in San Diego as well as many other cities. They do the zombie drill. Okay, so yeah, you see the zombie threat coming, and they have the Marines or the cops or whoever out there and mow down all these zombies like you see in World War Z or some other zombie movie, Walking Dead, whoever else, because they're already dead, so people don't have any hesitation in killing them. And, as far as I'm concerned, they're desensitizing these guys. So it may not be so much a zombie, but what if you have a zombie-like person, somebody who's sick, somebody who's ill, somebody who's hungry, they're running at you, then, hey, I remember my zombie training, let's just shoot all these guys. And, it does desensitize our law enforcement to making these decisions. So that's it for this segment of the InfoWars Nightly News, but stay tuned. We have many more special reports. We'll have a special report from Joe Biggs documenting new shenanigans at the NSA, and also John Bound will talk to us about stage beheading videos. This is the InfoWars Nightly News. Stay tuned.
Celebrate the spirit of freedom and liberty upon which our nation was founded at InfoWarsShop.com. Molon Lave is ancient Greek for come and take it. This popular design combines both classic Greek Spartan imagery with modern M16 assault rifles. Now available in women's tees and proudly made in the USA. Celebrate the spirit of 1776 with the George Washington brass belt buckle, or this incredibly sharp-looking 1776 hat. Badass. And be sure to check out the new arrivals at InfoWars Life, where you can prepare your body to perform at peak levels with Survival Shield Nascent Iodine, Super Male Vitality, and Fluoride Shield. And wake up, America. Immune Support Blend is the healthy choice for the gourmet coffee lover. So get incredibly high-quality, freedom-based products and help fund the revolution at InfoWarsShop.com.